All right, because Sifuna is disrupting the political status quo. State of the Nation will focus on that today. This morning we'll be having Ishmael Nyaribo, advocate of the High Court, Rachel Omolo, who's a public policy and governance expert, alongside Dismas Mukua, political risk analyst. Nifuna Sifuna. Do stand by for that, coming your way at 6:30. All right, so all the papers are just about Sifuna. Which one do you want to pick?
Battle for Western. Let's start with the Daily Nation this morning. And they say the Linda Mwananchi Brigade led by Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna concluded a two-day tour of Western Kenya yesterday. On a day, President Ruto visited Busia, underlining the region's importance in the 2027 State House contest. In the 2022 elections, Ruto staged an upset by winning Bungoma, polling 25,000 plus votes that proved decisive to his presidential poll victory, with a razor-thin margin over his closest challenger, Raila Odinga. With the 5 western counties so far accounting for 2.92 million registered voters, the country's third largest vote bloc after Mount Kenya, Nairobi. The scramble for the region is well underway. This story has been captured on page 4, 5, and 7. 4 pages. Battleground. ODM has dominated the region, but Raila Odinga's death has upset the status quo. Yeah, they say they want the Luo Nyanza region to return the favor that they've given the region for a very long time. And yeah, one side, President William Ruto addressing members of the public yesterday after attending consecration and enthronement of Dr. Vitalis Jobukuru in Busia County. On the other side, it's a rally of Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna.
Yes. The battle for the votes on Western Kenya, I think the breakdown down there is very interesting. That in 2022, there were about 2.62 million voters there. According to the current register, that number has gone up by about 300,000. So they're now 2.92 million. But by next year, according to IEBC projections, those numbers will have hit 3.36 million. So it's quite a huge vote basket. And na ukiona ile turnout ilikuwa hapo jana, just for Sifuna.
Yeah.
I've had a poem. There's one little boy who was got to the stage and recited a poem about Sisi ndio Sifuna.
Yeah, so you're talking about 5 counties of Kakamega, Bungoma, Busia, Trans Nzoia, and Vihiga. Other quick headlines on the front page of the Daily Nation this morning. Harsh end for Adongo, who made Kenya proud. This is Daniel Adongo. His deportation from the United States closes a story that once ran on a pad possibility. They say it's a hard ending to a decade that began in applause and finished in a courtroom with federal agents escorting a man who had stood, however briefly, on an NFL sideline.
Yeah, if you see that story is on page 3, if you see now the 2 pictures of the same man, it's a story you need to read. Someone has battled mental health issues. He was a rugby player, then he got to play in the American Football League. He's been in prison in the US, so it's quite a sad story.
Confusion over varsity fees funding growth. This is the government's promise of free university education. It has deepened after President William Ruto and Education CS appear to contradict each other on the legal framework that will anchor the policy. That's another story on page 8. They say that university will be free.
Did he say that?
Who? The president?
Yes. Because you remember, even his own advisors were saying, no, he did not say that. Yeah. Was it fully funded university education? Is it fully state-funded education?
It's on record. He said it's fully funded.
Well, it could mean anything. Is it a loan? Is it a grant? Is it... Okay, what exactly is it? And I think, and no wonder the story is asking. Yes, confusion over varsity fees. Funding grows because no one knows what exactly it is. And because ideally, I think there's some pieces of legislation that are supposed to go through Parliament. Ile ya HELB, na kuna ingine nasikia ni a tertiary institution. So which is already in Parliament. There was also a plan to collapse HELB and all these other things into one bill, one institution. Has that bill gone through? No one knows what's happening.
Yes. So it's quoted here. And he said on the 21st of July that there is a law in Parliament called the HELB Amendment Bill 2026 that will enable us to ensure that every Kenyan student who has been placed in a TVET or a university gets a state get state funding. President Ruto said, I am not drunk and I'm not a fool. I know what I'm saying. Yeah.
Ni yeye tu anajua kenye anasema.
Yeah. That story is on page 8. Tusome magazeti. Page 6, Gachagua unveils 2027 Mount Kenya poll strategy. He says that he will defend the region from pro-government politicians and ensure the Mount Kenya voters remain united. Voter numbers giving president and his rivals sleepless nights. That's a story on page 7. Yes, your story, Mulembe Nation. That politics formations have been forced to rethink alliances, messaging, and campaign strategy.
And it's interesting that now politicians are getting out their calculators, because this is pure calculation. You look at the numbers and the regions that are considered probably very decisive. Western Kenya, of course, is one of them. Luo Nyanza also will be. Mount Kenya, of course, is very decisive. According to 2022 register, there are about 5.8 million voters there. According to IBC projections for next year, 7.4 million, one region alone. But you remember, kuna wale wanasema kuna east na kuna west. But either way, the numbers there are huge. Rift Valley, they need to come out. But you remember what they were saying about Luo Nyanza? That even with a presidential candidate, in 2022, the voter turnout was at about 62 to 65%. So the numbers could be there. But how do you get them to come out and vote?
Yeah. Are they voting? So on the back page, Coach Odemba banks on youth experience to shine in Morocco. South Africa play Tanzania tonight as Cote d'Ivoire tackle Burkina Faso. 2026 Women's AFCON. Yep. Kenya ranked 124th globally, play in Group A of the 16-team tournament alongside hosts Morocco, Algeria, and Senegal. That's the Daily Nation.
Nasikia tunapatiwa update ya scores. Tumelimwa mabao manne kwa nunge. Morocco yesterday beat Kenya 4-0 at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. That's their very first game at the tournament. Let's hope that things get better, but as of now, the first loss, and this is a bad one, 4-0 to the Starlets. No, against the Starlets. All right. Let's take a look at the Standard. Grand welcome is a big headline on the front page of this paper with a huge image of Sifuna. Amebeba ile, he's carrying a bucket. Donated by Kamukuywa, and inside that bucket there's money. Yeah. Wow. Yani watu wanachanga pesa wanamletea. You know, we saw this in Olkalau. That people now are actually funding a candidate. Yes. And that is what the indication is when it comes to Linda Mwananchi and Edwin Sifuna. They do not even know what he's going to run for. He's made indications he may run for president, or he may declare his interest in the presidency. But this kind of campaign funding has never been witnessed before in Kenya. We saw it for the first time in Olkalau. Now we are seeing instances of it around Sifuna. But now they're saying that this is a reincarnation. Western Kenya turned out in extraordinary numbers as Edwin Sifuna's Linda Mwananchi Brigade rolled through the region, capping the tour with a triumphant homecoming in Bungoma yesterday. Without police cordons, hired crowds, or violence, Sifuna commanded rallies with the ease of a seasoned political kingpin, reviving memories of the mass appeal once associated with his late mentor, Raila Odinga. Attempts to counter the tour with parallel meetings barely dented the mood. Now they're talking about President Ruto's meeting in Busia. Buoyed by enthusiastic supporters and an endorsement for the presidency, Sifuna has emerged from the weekend looking like less an ambitious senator and more like presidential material. Stories on page 4 and 5. Nifuna Sifuna. You know, and this, I think the biggest discussion is about how political alienations, alignments are just asking themselves, okay, huyu jamaa ametoka wapi? Tuko tumejipanga. President William Ruto had his own plan. The United Alternative Government had their own plan. They were even talking about who's going to be what on the ticket where. Then Sifuna just shows up. And arithmetic imeharibika kila mahali. Kila mtu, now wewe umetoka wapi?
Yeah.
Sifuna.
Back to the drawing board.
Back to the drawing board.
Kila mtu.
Nifuna Sifuna. Page 2, Sacred Knife blessing signals start of the Bukusu circumcision season. Now this is very significant even politically, because now focus will be around the counties of Bungoma, Kitale, Trans Nzoia, those areas, as the Bukusu community carry out this traditional August circumcision season. So wananoa visu. Many people have talked about how watu wanaogopa this form of traditional ritual because of the unsanitary nature of the equipment used. But then again, it still happens. So they are blessing the knives now. Watoto wakifunga shule, siaka. More parents shun cultural male cat for fear of excessive bleeding and infections is also there on page 2. So page 2 just talks about this matters, this cultural heritage and rite of passage. So vijana wakifunga shule wako tayari. And there's Jean Ojiro, Miss Kenya's Miss Universe crown. This was live on TV47.
Absolutely.
You attended the event?
I did.
How was it?
Fantastic. She really deserves the win.
Yeah.
She deserves it, and it's a competition like any other. I think we should just support Jean. Her advocacy is on femicide, which is a crisis in the country.
All right.
And she'll be representing us in Puerto Rico in November. So the more loud we are, the more we are putting Jean on the map.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's quite stunning.
She is.
Page 3 of the Standard.
5'11" tall.
5'11". Not bad. Okay, so the main story on pages 4 and 5, reincarnation, Sifuna, Western Kenya, how city senators' wave is shaking Mulembe politics. Analysts explain why peace prevailed at Sifuna's Western rallies. Hakukwa na fujo. No, hakukwa na fujo. In fact, they didn't even have proper marshals for traffic. But everything went on well. Kalonzo's absence from spotlight allows Sifuna to build momentum. Now, Kalonzo was a front runner for the United Alternative Government. But now, everyone is asking, so where is Sifuna? Where is Kalonzo?
I've seen a lot of talk around Kalonzo. So he's a lazy politician, corporate body.
Corporate body.
Acheni mambo yenu.
Jamaa kama vile Gachagua alisema wachaneni na Kindiki, wachaneni na Kalonzo hata nini. Back page. This is for matters polo. Sasa ndio imeenda hii ni ile niche sports. But najua hii gazeti iko associated na jamaa fulani huko. Kenyan players Cheza Mila and Kimoi Moi, just like his father Gideon Moi. Kimoi Moi plays polo. And that is the biggest story on the back page. Kenya humbles Zimbabwe to win Swinburne Cup. Hii sport ni ile inaitwa niche sport. But the Prince Lu Sevens also happened. And watu wakashinda na wengine wakashindwa. That's the Standard today. All
right. People Daily, Sifuna rocks Ruto and opposition. It's a story captured on page 4, 5, and 6. The Nairobi senators' growing influence is forcing rivals and allies alike to rethink their 2027 game plan. So it's the same headline across the board. On the top strip, the politics of loyalty, how standing with Ruto shapes power and political survival.
You know, now, especially for the United Alternative Government, Sifuna definitely will come with us. But the biggest consideration they had for him was, okay, fine, we can give him deputy. Running mate.
Ametosha mboga.
Hapa saa the talk has changed. Sasa ni, can Sifuna go for it? And that will change the arithmetic for everyone. Can you imagine if at all Sifuna is the main challenger for William Ruto? Yeah. On a ticket for president.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine? Yeah. Just imagine. So trouble for everyone, not just President Ruto. It's trouble for everyone. Yeah. From the People Daily, let's take a look at the Star. Ruto woos Teso voters, Sifuna rocks Bungoma base. So, yeah. Hii picha wametumia ni ya nani?
Hapa chini.
Hii hapa chini ni ya Sifuna. Hapa juu ndio ya William Ruto, the president. Western Kenya is emerging as a major bloc. It has always been a major bloc, lakini kuna ile kitu tunaitanga elusive Luya unity. Kunafaa kuwa na chama ya elusive Luya unity. I don't know how it will work. The president found it necessary to go to Western Kenya at the same weekend when Sifuna was doing his homecoming. That tells you something. He wasn't very far. Busia and Bungoma about, 40 kilometers apart? Yeah. So, hakuwa mbali sana. And given the length of convoy that these people use, hata pengine magari zilikuwa zimepakiwa at the same place. So, President William Ruto in Amagoro, in Busia County, and Linda Mwananchi bigwigs led by Edwin Sifuna during a rally in Kimilili, Bungoma County. You get the feeling that even Linda Mwananchi nowadays, you don't talk about it without talking about Sifuna.
Yeah.
I know there's Orengo, there's Babu Wino, but it's about Sifuna.
Yeah.
This paper has an interview with the manufacturing hub BAT boss on page 6, talking about Kenya as a manufacturing hub. And Public Service Commission inside 6.5 billion shilling payroll fraud, draining Kenyan state coffers, ghost workers, up to 6.5 billion. This money, if it goes to education, it can really boost capitation for schools.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in a pesa inapotea. Yeah. Inside pages, why tribalism is making hospitals worse. And magazeti mengine. You can see this fraud on the front page is the one featured on pages 4 and 5. Ideally, that should have been the main headline on the Star until Sifuna happened. Kila kitu ikageuka. Yeah, that's the nature of politics. And then I like this photo on page 7. Ile mahali Babu Owino na Edwin Sifuna wanacheka mpaka wanajishika tumbo hivi vile wamecheka. Under the headline, Sifuna electrifies Bungoma, unveils new funding model. I was telling you about these funding models. He's turned to direct contributions from Kenyans to finance his campaign. Now, umeona hiyo bucket ameshika kwa front page ya Standard.
Yeah.
Watu wa Kamukuywa walinunua ndoo. Hawana pesa mingi hivyo. Wakaeka maelfu kadhaa wakampatia, this is from Kamukuywa. That should tell you something.
Yes. Mtoto wetu amerudi, tunampatia kitu kidogo.
We saw that in Olkalao. Is Kenyan politics changing, or the funding model for Kenyan politics? On the back page, chance for Kogalo. Gor Mahia wary of Vipers test as Kagame Cup knockout race heats up, and Mugunde leads Kenya's bid to revive Commonwealth boxing campaign. That's another sports story. Paleju, Malta's Commonwealth, Omanyala begins title defense in 100 meters hits. That story on page 30 of this paper. That's the Star. Fresh, independent, different. Grab yourself a copy for only 60 bob today.
All right. Taifa Leo, Kivumbi, Mulembe wanaita mapambano Linda Mwananchi wakiongozwa na Seneta Sifuna wavutia umati mkubwa katika mikutano ya kuunganisha jamii ya Mulembe kwa ajili ya uchaguzi wa mwaka ujao. Huku Rais Ruto naye akizuru Busia kukabiliana na wimbi la upinzani linalovuma eneo hilo, once again wamewekwa side by side. Linda Mwananchi na serikali wajaajaa magharibi kuwania jumla ya kura milioni 2.9 kwa ajili ya kura za mwaka ujao.
All the papers are now looking at Sifuna vis-a-vis William Ruto.
Yeah.
Here's what they're saying. The front page of the Daily Nation, they put them side by side.
Yeah.
The Star and Taifa Leo.
Yeah.
That's an editorial by itself. Tells you that sasa hata wale ule tumesema asiingiliwe sana.
Yes.
Huyo ni kama tumesahau sana.
Vidokezo zaidi. Gachagua ataka DCP iwe chama pekee Mlimani. Wow. Katika kampeni zake Mlima Kenya Mashariki, ataka PNU na DEP zivunjwe na kujiunga na chama chake. Habari kamili katika ukurasa wa 2. Duale asema hata afika mbele ya NCIC kwanza. Waziri huyo anashutumiwa kwa kutoa matamshi ya kukera akitaka Gachagua ahojiwe kwanza. He said without Gachagua hata mesikuji. Kama anakuja, Gachagua has to be there.
Then what is NCIC doing?
Kuna karikacha imeongelelea hiyo. Tutakuja kuangalia zaidi. ODM yataka UDA iunge kwa ugavana wa Nairobi. Alado anaemezea mate ugavana wa Nairobi hataki ODM igawane viti vya kaunti ya Nairobi na UDA. Yeah.
Gazeti la Taifa Leo.
On the top strip, Rais Senegal azindua chama kipya. Fei sasa kutumia chama cha Kire kupambana na wimbi la aliyekuwa rafikie Sonko. Alikuwa amevai na chama cha no, he got support from Sonko.
Yes, because Sonko was not
eligible
to vie.
Yeah.
Then now wakakosana.
Yes.
Akamfuta kazi. Wabunge wakamwandika kazi.
Yes.
Sasa Faye baada anataka kurudi kwa siasa.
Yeah.
Alimwambia acha mimi sitakutoa sahi, Sonko alimwambia sitakutoa sahi. Tutangojea uchaguzi.
Tutaona. Vijana wengi waangukia mtego wa ajira kimataifa, ni habari katika ukurasa wa 3. Gazeti hili wanasema waathiriwa hujipata wakifanya biashara haramu kama kuigiza filamu chafu.
Very popular.
Yes.
Very rampant now. and they're dirtifying even some of the common social media spaces.
Yeah.
Unafungua hivi social media unapata kunaendaje?
Wacha utafanya watu waende waangalie.
Wanajua tunasema nini.
Business Daily haraka. Mystery firm buys 25% of SportPesa, exits share deal. They say in just 4 years the ownership of Milestone Games Limited, the holding company that operates the SportPesa brand in Kenya, has moved from being dominated by a few Kenyan tycoons to being led by UAE registered company. Right. Ronald Karauri's direct stake at 3% from 13.4%. That is SportPesa CEO Ronald Karauri. He's at the center of this story. This story is on page 2. And licensed digital lenders denied right to pursue unpaid loans. Yes, that Nairobi Small Claims Court has struck out 2 debt recovery suits because the digital lenders seeking the unpaid loans were not licensed by the CPK, setting a precedent in tackling the non-performing loans. So hii kama uko na deni wasikukujie
kama wako registered na CBK.
Yes.
Pole kwao.
Yes.
But of course, how do you operate a money lending business without approval by the central bank?
Actually, most of them are not approved by the CBK.
Then they cannot and should not go after people who have not paid.
Yeah. Well, okay. On the ticker, Treasury bows to pressure cuts capital limit for crypto firms. Average M-Pesa commission hits record low in Chinese retailers on the sport over Mandarin products labeling. That's the Business Daily. Yes,
let's cross the border as we go to Tanzania, because unfortunately Uganda squeeze one. They are very slow. They wake up very late. Yeah. The New Vision wako bado gazeti ya weekend ndio iko available. Anyway, in Tanzania, what lies behind ABSA NBC merger? That's a Citizen talking about merger of these banks. The Bank of Tanzania says it has no objection to the proposed merger between ABSA Bank Tanzania and National Bank of Commerce NBC, but says the South African banking group has not engaged the regulator on the matter for more than 2 years. You realize something, and this is a trend across East Africa. South African banks are buying East African banks.
Yeah.
In Tanzania and in Kenya it's happening. I don't know about Uganda, but yes, that's a trend. Wanataka pesa yetu.
Ama wanaona tumelala kazini
wanakuja hizo benki.
If you don't want to invest, they will.
Gazeti la Mwananchi, tukisalia kule Bongo, ahueni vilio bima vya afya kwa wote. Wanufaika waeleza walivyopunguziwa mzigo wa gharama, lakini changamoto kubwa ni kosekana kwa huduma za vipimo na dawa. Serikali yatoa ufafanuzi na mikakati kuboresha huduma. Ni kama tusha. Inasema tumepunguza nini, lakini watu wanasema lakini hizo services mbona hatupati? Watuhumiwa wa kesi za ugaidi wafikia 130 kule. Na gazeti la Mwananchi kule Tanzania, masuala ya afya na bima ya afya na kwingineko, merger between ABSA and NBC of Tanzania. Haya ni magazeti ya Tanzania. Kule Uganda vile walifunga Daily Monitor, ni vigumu kujua nini kinaendelea kule. Haya, turejelee nyumbani tuangazie karakacha sasa. Ile